Oh. It's called oh boy. I guess it's oh boy. Boy, boy, boy. Some time during that isolation to work on this private administrative process. And now sort of be out online to share information and give just sort of my perspective. I'm not trained in anything, just sort of a generalist. Today's video is going to be about foreclosure prevention and securing housing. This will be a step-by-step process. Let's see. And I just wanted to point out this little bottle here on the table in the foreground of the video that's going out to a special viewer in London. So it's a copper acetate, and I highly recommend looking into it. It's slightly pea-like because I'm using an apple cider vinegar. This is sort of my own formula mixed in with vitamin C, aspirin, and iodine in there. So I did filter it through a coffee filter. That's the best I could do. But I should be sending that off today after I pick up some copper pieces. Anyway, now securing housing, and I will have links in my video description. But it's a process that I've taken from, I've tweaked Winston Shrout's process. And first, if you're living in a house on a property, you as whether you're a tenant or a homeowner, then you have possession. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and with that, the remaining 1/10 is in title. So this is the process that would be necessary to put the inhabitant of the property in 10 for 10. If going into the court, the judge would have to side with the tenant or the homeowner. So this is now a section in terms of if you are in a mortgage agreement. This is basically, a mortgage agreement is essentially just a payment agreement between one entity, that's the lien on the birth certificate, the all cap name, to a financing institution, a bank.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, great. I was just listening to this video that I'd created. Let me turn that off there.
I did. If you hear squeaking in the background, it's my dog playing with it.
Oh, okay.
He's got a raindrop. It's a little thing shaped like a raindrop that squeaks. My son got him for graduation from high school. He graduated in May. He's a husky, and Lord, we've had our hands full, girl. He's already like about between 40 and 50 pounds, so he's going to be huge.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And just so you know, I'm on my phone.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'll be able to record or not.
Let's see. It's okay. Any of the points that come up, we'll see.
I've got a pad. I do have a pad and paper though.
Okay, great.
I watched your with the automatic writer.
Oh yeah.
And Well, I was listening to the stuff about the third, that, like what you were asking about the UC. I've never done a UCC one. And I mean, girl, okay, I've been in this foreclosure since almost 9 years. And I was going to do that UCC over and over again. I've got so many different styles of it,
Right.
that I've bought from people or that have been given from people. And I've just never done it because I've never known if it was right or not.
Well, there is a reason why you haven't come to that point, and you've made a collection of all of this UCC possibilities.
Yes.
So it's just a matter of, I feel like, trusting your gut. There's a reason why there's been so much delay.
Yeah. But you were asking about
Right. I was asking about whether.
keep in third dimension, right? If it would.
Yes, to use the county recorder's office or the Louisiana parish to record a UCC1 financing statement recontracts the soul to the banking cartel and places one under the banking cartel. There is something that happened at, I want to say, that happened during Max Steele's webinar on Saturday. And I feel
Okay.
like that, let's see, I have to meditate a bit on it, but what
Okay.
it appears is when you do this webinar with Max Steele, that you cannot be trapped, because you're not doing anything bad the way the banking cartel is doing.
Sweet. Well, I'm signing up. I'm gonna go pay my money today. He actually sent me a link, like
Okay.
the one he sent me too.
Uh-huh.
So that's awesome. That,
Yeah.
and I'm a currency holder too. God, I hope this happens. I have Zim and Dong and a little bit of Dinar.
Okay.
But you do, right?
I do too. And when I was people were asking me to look at the TDA, and I got to looking at it, and from what I was seeing with the TDA is, and I'd asked it in this automatic writing session, that it appears to be a trap. The BC, accessing the BC looks like a trap. It could be a trap.
Well, just so I let you know, one of my friends, she started doing it, and then
Uh-huh.
one day, she's from California,
Mhm.
and then she's been trying to get her daughter out of prison, plus she's been in a foreclosure for almost as long as I have,
Oh,
and
gosh.
she started using that account. Of course, everything got reversed, but one time I gave her the information to pay one of my bills, like this water bill, and of course they reversed it. So I did do it once.
But if it's reversed, and
Yeah, as far as I know, everybody's is getting reversed.
yeah, that's right. And that's where, on my videos, I keep on that, I cancel my contract language.
Yeah.
That's from Captain Max Steele.
Sweet.
So put that out, like if you make a little cell phone video, do that, put it on your YouTube channel, because the internet is public domain. And
Okay.
that is how you can get it out, because certainly the county recorder's office isn't going to record that.
Right. Well, I wonder, so we wouldn't be able to get it recorded at the county, the capital county either, huh?
You mean for the canceling the contract?
Yeah.
It's really what the intention is. You voice it by reading it out, because there's the frequency with these specific words that Max Steele had put in. And that is what cancels it. It sends it out into the universe, and it's good to do that regularly.
Okay. So now you took his one on Saturday. Had you ever taken any other ones with him?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he's ever done any before. Are you going to do them every week?
I'm actually Next week I'm leaving Switzerland and just sort of doing some traveling with my partner. He really needs a vacation. So I would, if I could. There were 2 women who were on who had done it last week.
Oh, okay. So he's been doing it for a while then.
It seems he's been offering this, and then he just made this sort of public with his last Studio 9 Jam video.
Okay. So you listen to I'm trying to think. I can't think now, but you listen to the other guys from England.
Simon Parks.
Yes. Do you listen to him too?
I do, and now I realize why he's got problems with his connection. It's because of this fiber optics that was installed in the late 70s throughout the whole country. It's like done as a figure 8 to cover the whole island. So I should ask that I guess that supplier if they have some kind of device that prevents interference.
So it's so they're like purposely able to interfere. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. He was always, ever since I've been listening to him, he's been like being bombarded with all kinds of stuff, right?
Oh yes. He's a truth teller.
Now he's moving again, or last time I listened to one of his audios, he's moving again. I've already been listening to him one time. He moved before that, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Where he's in his own place now, or was it last week, Thursday? He moved into with a friend. So,
okay.
Yeah. So
I remember he was in this house. For a while I was listening, there was like these weird people that were around his house and stuff, and
it gets pretty scary with the things that he reports, but it's it just shows they're in on it, or I should say, the police around are aware of his activity, and that's what confirms he is a truth teller.
Cool, huh? Have you done any Winston's classes?
No, but what I did do is I went through all the interviews that I could find on him, on the internet, and then I started to, I think it was last year, I started buying his products.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew you had his products. His products are expensive.
I know. I did a giveaway, and this one guy.
They were lucky. Whoever got those was very lucky.
They're lucky, yeah. But Winston has a way of sort of rambling on, even in his papers. So I think the videos that I've got on the giveaway playlist, it has links to all the documents. I
saw them. I got them. Okay, got them, girl. Yeah. I'm going to mail that thing out. I want to mail the thing out that about changing the status, but I was waiting on that because I didn't know if there was something that needed to change about that or not.
Well, I'm glad you have brought that up, because I was looking over my own process and seeing how could I improve this, because people who have not, or who are not aware of Captain Max Steele's webinar or how to cancel contracts, all you'd really need to do is, apply for a U.S. passport. And all the documents you would put into a UCC, remove that UCC form and put the documents in with the passport application. And then send that in. After you send that in, then you would be issued a new passport. And then with that, basically, the U.S. Department of State recognizes you, Diana, as a free woman. But then the second step after submitting your, after submitting your application, you order a certified copy of that passport application, have that letter notarized, and then send it back to the, I think I put it in one of my links on the videos, the passport option.
Yes, I saw that. Now, did you say to get the letter or the application authenticated or not?
That was one of the things that was supposed to happen. However, someone from the Department State Department called me at home here in Switzerland. It's like, wow, that's never happened before.
Right.
And what she said is, we don't offer the authentication service for that particular document, the application, a certified copy of the passport application.
They will not authenticate it.
No, they won't. So
Okay.
what that means is that it would appear that this is a real thing that I want to say the U.S. Federation, U.S. Incorporated is done. It's done, right? Because now we're all
done?
on. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like the fiscal year ended September 30th, and then we had this October 15th to wait for. That was kind of the 6-month extension that came after April 15th. Brings us to October 15th, and so anytime after that, it would be possible. Possible for what? I would say that's when I got contact from the Department of State office.
I'm fixing to send you a picture I took off from Facebook last night.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying. How would I send it? How should I send it?
Let's see. There is a screen share at the bottom,
Okay.
and it's like you click on that, and then you'd be able to upload a picture.
Okay. Let's see. It says share Let me see. Share content. All right. It doesn't. It's asking me all these different things though to share. Let me see more. It's just saying photos. Okay, photos. I want to share a photo. Okay. Maybe it'll let me do it. Let's see. Okay, hold on. All right. Let's see. Select. Oh, not select all. Deselect all. Okay. Okay. So done. Let's see if it does it. Let's see if it sends it to you.
Okay. Yes. Here you go. I see it.
Look at that. Check it out.
Lot reserved for future internment camp. Oh, ordered by Donald J. Trump. Is that outside there, Florida?
I don't know. This was somebody, this guy, Tack Beer Bay.
Okay.
Posted. Somehow, I guess I'm friends with him or friends with somebody that's friends with him on Facebook.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and see where he lives, but he took this picture and uploaded it last night.
Ah. Future internment camp. Gosh, I hope it isn't close to you.
That's wild.
That is. That's like amazing. Tech by share. Oh, this is Raf Aluf Mordecai. Okay. No, the amazing thing with the African Americans, they are so ahead and I guess identifying red flags. They are a very special group to pay attention to.
I know. Really, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want that picture? Or do I stop screen share or what?
You can stop screen share. It's okay. Thank you.
I just thought you might be interested in that because I was like, wow, when I saw it,
Oh yes, there's a lot of crazy stuff being posted, but
looks real, doesn't it? It looks like somebody just walked up to a fence and took the picture.
It's pretty close to the people, actually.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it has something to do with what it's being talked about on the videos, like all these mass arrests and stuff, right?
Right.
I would hope.
I think that's coming down the line. Or very soon, actually. What did I see? Greg Hunter. 2 days ago, he had a video that he uploaded to his channel. Top Wall Street, Hollywood, DC involved in child abuse. And Harvey Weiner, it's Harvey Weinstein. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
He was mentioned here in the Swiss news, but there was no mention of pedophilia.
Oh wow. Well, girl, somebody went through all the Grammys and
Mhm.
counted who had the most thank yous over the year.
Oh.
He had more thank yous by far, they said, than anybody. So almost everybody that got up there thanked him for them getting their award.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So obviously, like he was the one that got everybody their Grammys.
Exactly. Yeah. For whatever they had to pull
Yeah,
their,
whatever he did
whatever they
for
did.
that.
Ugh. Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But they said by far he outnumbered anybody else in thank yous.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a very rotten business. I have a neighbor. I was tutoring her in English. She's about 12 years old, and she said, "I'd like to go to Hollywood and become a movie actress." It's like,
No, exactly.
right?
Well, they make it look so glamorous, though. That's the way to go.
Yeah, but it's all a facade. It's so fake. It's sick.
And they all end up going crazy.
Right, right. That's so true.
Because it goes so against our soul and our higher self and everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true.
So you applied. I've seen your video where you said you applied and they called you and everything. Did you already get it? You already got your passport?
I got my passport back in August of last year.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay,
I
but
have that.
you got the call after that. All that happened afterwards.
Yes. Let's see. I got the phone call. I think that was.
Recently, like in July or something, I think you said.
Oh, I got an email. The email I
Yeah.
received was in July. July 22nd was a Saturday, and that was when Mosul, Iraq, was liberated. And
Uh-huh.
so that following Monday, I got an email, and it was to say, we are waiting on this one document from 1989. And let's see. And then I didn't hear anything back. And then it was, I think it was before the end of September. It's actually the week of the solar eclipse. Did you see that?
I didn't see the solar eclipse. No, I mean, I was in an area where, it wasn't in the path. You know what I mean?
Okay, you're just outside of it. But I wonder, did you feel anything different energetically?
Honestly, I can't say I did.
Okay.
Talking about that with one of my friends, I personally did not.
Okay.
So, but I'll tell you one thing, I've been sleeping so much and so tired all the time.
That's a good thing. Sleep.
Oh God, sleeping and tired, and I want to contribute some of it to this dog because he has to go on such long walks and all that, and he gets up, middle of the night sometimes, or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock. But also on top of that, just I do think there's like a lot of stuff going on because I just want to sleep a lot.
Oh yes, yes. I'd gone through a lot of long sleeping where I just was not able to get up early like I used to. I'm getting up about 9, 10, but I'm also up late. And it's about this time that I usually take a little nap during that sleep time. But this was when there was a major transition, and I want to say that was about summertime. Early summer. Yeah, I was sleeping a lot. So I feel like I've caught up with a little bit. So it'll catch up for you too.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So are you going to are you going to do it, or have you already done one, a UCC one?
I haven't.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. So when you do this passport application and then you receive the certified copy, the certified copy is basically a higher document than the UCC recording. So it's actually, and this is where you have this option. You can do a UCC recording, or you could, do the passport application.
Okay.
And so there's two options. But with this housing thing, what I'm realizing is first you do, I feel like when I finished Max Steele's webinar, that I had enough protection, and that I did confirm with the medium that I was able to cancel all the contracts I created with the dark forces, or that were existing. So it's to do that. I would say do Max's webinar, and and it'll be something the answers will come to you. What you need to do.
Okay. Well, now when you got your passport, did you file a bunch of papers with it?
Mine were really simple. That's why I was thinking. Yesterday I made another video, but I didn't have time to cut it.
Okay.
And it was basically all the paperwork you're going to file with the UCC. Just take that paperwork, and I actually have. Let me see what I've got here. Oh, that's the wrong mouse.
I can watch the video so you don't have to repeat it.
Okay. Yeah, it's with the let's see here. Oh, that's housing. Okay.
You just hadn't uploaded it yet, huh?
Yeah, I haven't uploaded it, and I'm not going to have time to. It would be like, but let's see. Let me send you.
Have you known people that saved their house doing some of Winston's, using some of Winston's information?
I do not have firsthand knowledge of it. There was one guy who was on my, on my YouTube channel, where he was asking about it, and he got to the point where he was at the recorder's office asking me, what do I record this thing under? And I was thinking, it goes under your property that you're trying to save.
Land records, or even if they won't do that, miscellaneous file, huh?
It would still go under your properties, the property that's listed under the birth certificate name, that property you're trying to save. So let's see. So does it work? On the public record, it should. And that's where doing the political status, correcting the political status, is necessary.
And that's the one where you send it to the Bureau of Internal Revenue Service.
Is that the one in the Philippines?
Yes.
The curious thing with this, someone had sent me a message, and they asked, the link you have in your video description is broken. So
yeah, but I still went to it. I still just Googled it and went to it, and there is a Bureau of Internal Revenue Service in the Philippines.
Right. And I'm trying to think, when did that happen? Because this actually happened about May or so. I'd have to take a look, but what it is there were like over 50 organizations to send this document to.
I've got that. Yeah, you've got that in a separate thing too.
Yes, right. But what happened was, because I had a link directly to the source, that source had been removed, and that was with it was on a federal agency for the U.S. And so with Trump in the House, that whole agency was like closed down.
Okay, so there is no more Bureau of Internal Revenue Service in the Philippines for us?
For us.
I mean, for you people in the U.S. or people?
Right. I can't say. Okay. It appears to be dismantled.
Okay, but would you still send it anyway?
I actually have a letter that I found, because I was working on it during the summer, and would I still send it there? I would send a certified copy of the passport application.
Okay.
Actually, just a copy, because you want to keep that document yourself, and send us a copy to that office in the Philippines.
Okay.
Just to have your bases covered, because it looks like we're still maybe 5 years off from the banking cartel coming down.
Are you serious?
From what I'm hearing here in Switzerland, it is that my partner had a conversation with a banker, a casual conversation,
Yeah,
and he
we were
was
talking about video and how they're starting to implement like they're not going to get their free days off and all their perks like they used to have.
yeah, that was actually on my post here. Let's see, on my
Yeah,
YouTube
I watched
channel.
that one too.
Let's see. This one came out. I posted this maybe a day or so ago.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. No.
The other one was a while back.
Oh, okay. Right. This one came out. Let's see. Oh, here we go. 3 days ago.
Oh,
So
okay.
this was a casual conversation my partner had with a banker. You don't know if it was. It's one of the major bankers, like Credit Suisse,
Uh-huh.
possibly Union Bank of Switzerland.
Uh-huh.
This was about the currency reset, and the banker says the currency reset has to happen. Yet we're over 5 years away because the banks need to prepare for the changes, and things will change. Yet the Swiss won't know about it.
So we're over 5 years away from being able to use our foreign currency.
No. Here
Oh,
in Switzerland,
oh,
the people here in Switzerland aren't going to know about it.
oh. Well, where will you get to exchange yours? Do you have like people that you're already hooked up with to exchange it?
I've been looking. That's why I was checking out France. But while I'm away, I'm actually going to California,
Oh, good.
and yeah, I'm going to try there.
Well, Max was in a group that I was in for a while. Do you do Facebook? It's called the Outlaws, and now whether they're going to be noticed or not, I don't know. Then I'm hooked up with another girl that I can give you her email, a group that's supposed to be out of Reno. If you want me to send you her email,
Are they doing? Because I have a bond, a Zin bond.
me too. That's what I have. I have Zen bonds, the 2008.
Okay, right, and I think they're only redeemable at HSBC.
That's what I've heard. That's what they're saying.
Oh, that Neotech GV channel? That's definitely disinformation that's coming out of there with Zora.
Okay.
And anything that's on there, when you think about it, what they post on their channel, it's a lot of automated, I'm going to say, text-to-speech recordings.
Yes.
So this is what the medium had come back with. It was definitely disinformation. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'd actually updated that on my my YouTube channel, so you can actually see what the unsources are the basically the disinformation. Yeah, and in that last video, I did put it in the video description, how they were described, like partly and definitely and yes. Those were the three sort of categories. Brad Johnson with the reality whisperer, he is partly disinformation.
Oh, really? Were they saying anybody that was putting the information out? Did you get a yes or a good on anybody other than Max?
I've gotten, let's see, those would be my sources, my subscriptions. If you look on my channel, you can see.
Okay.
So I just wanted to sort of differentiate. There's the unsources with the disinformation, and then you've got my subscription, which has, these are sources that have been providing. Oh, I have a delivery that I'm waiting for. Can you hold on a moment?
Of course.
Okay, thanks. I'll be back in a minute.
Hey.
Hello.
darling. Hey, darling.
Sorry about that.
No problem, girl. No problem. And if you need to go at any point, you just let me know, okay? Because I don't want to rob you. Take your time up.
Oh,
But it's so cool that you're like doing the Max Steel stuff, because I had seen him in the group, and I'd seen him he advertised at one time, and then he was not really around. And you never know. There's so many people out here offering so many things, and you can't do everything. So
that's true. That's
and
true.
but I really, but I liked his stuff. So now that you say, oh yeah, it's really good and everything, that's awesome.
I felt some major changes when he was doing the clearing or the healing. Just
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it was like I have some back injuries, and I felt some little sensation in that area, and I don't have stiffness or crunchiness the way I used to in my back.
Oh, girl, I've got back issues too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. And then I have some hearing loss that I could feel something was, it's like an air pressure was being applied, but I'll have to see if I have hearing loss, because usually I'm on the left side of my partner so that I can hear him through my good ear. But I'll just try on the other side to see if he talks, and I got to go, huh?
So is your partner like into the same stuff like with you?
No, we're just we're like on the same wavelength, but he's at the other end of the spectrum from me.
Okay, well, you're teaching him a lot of new stuff, I'm sure.
Yes, it's yes, just having to live with someone like me.
Hey, my son laughs about it because he said, "Mom, ain't nobody ever gonna have you."
Oh.
He's saying in a joking way, because it's such weird stuff. Most people think it's so weird, but it's just normal for me.
Exactly, and someone will come along when they come along. Otherwise,
I hear you, girl.
Well, let's see. I did want to tell you that, let's see, I was looking at the sources here. Okay.
Did you ever hear back from that guy that was trying to record the stuff in the county? Did anything ever work for him?
Oh, right. He never got back to me. He was like at the county, and I have him in comments. Let's go to studio here and see.
My family, my dad, that's where they were from, Switzerland.
Are they really?
Bigler, Switzerland.
Bigler? Where?
I don't know, somewhere in Switzerland there's a little town called Bigler, Switzerland.
Bigler. Bigler. Oh, now I have to check and see where that is.
Yeah, that'd be great. Now, none of my family that I know of has gone back there.
Oh, you should.
Father, he's already passed away, but that's where he said that we were from.
Bigler in Switzerland, yeah. Biglin, they have Biglin.
Okay, well, I think at one time, I think they changed it. I think it was at one time Big. You know how they changed the names and stuff of.
Yes.
Of the towns, yeah.
Okay.
It's just supposed to be a little bitty town.
Okay. Well, let's see. It would be interesting to look into your Swiss roots.
Mm-hmm.
Because Switzerland, what I'm finding, what I had thought, the banking cartel is here. However, there is a difference between the federal state and the banking cartel. Like, the banking cartel is not the federal state. These are two separate things.
Right.
And
so they're operating on the up and up is what I was gathering.
The federal state, yes. And the people they call them the Volk here, or folk. which includes the people. And it is that the people can say yes or no, and it actually counts for something, not like how it was in the U.S. So it's something worth looking into. Is it a German or Swiss or Italian part?
He would, because that's what, now my son says German, but my father always kept saying, no, you know, his grandpa always said Swiss.
Okay, yeah, there is a difference between Swiss and German. There is the German language speaking area, which is pretty big. And it's interesting how Switzerland is broken into these four major languages. You've got German, French, Italian, and then you also have Romansh. And Romansh is another language that's like it's a mixture of Latin and Italian, so it's like much older,
Right.
and it borders the Italian and Austrian border.
Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
I think that the Romansh is the language of the elite.
Wow. Okay. That would make sense, right?
Yeah, well, they have to have something that not everybody can speak because
I was saying nobody's going to know it.
some documents are not offered outside of a particular language.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, I'm really interested in all the history and stuff. I bet you love living over there.
Well, you know, aside from the frequency bombardment, it's pretty rough. And it, let's see, I can look at the people and realize it's not them. It's cultural that they have this wall up. And if you have not been part of their circle when they were children, it's not likely you're going to get into their circle. So there's a lot of isolation.
I see. I gotcha. So it's not, yeah, they're real private with their culture.
They are. It's they're precise, exacting, and they have very high standards here, and everything is formal, which is it's how the German language legal system is sort of set up. The Bill of Exchange was a part of a Germanic in nature, and it calls for formality. So because everything deals with money, so you got to be polite about it.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's fun. It's interesting on your audios how you were talking about how there's a lot of similarities between the United States, how their system's set up, and how the Swiss system is set up.
Outside of Switzerland, well, I want to say now outside of the banking cartel. Outside of the banking cartel,
That's meant the like it's been replicated, the banking part of it.
Yes, it applies to I want to say most things that deal with money, and to be entrapped in this, you have to deal with contracts and law, or I'm going to say statutes and codes. That's what the banking cartel set up, and we as men and women don't really have access to a fair day in the court because legalese is really set up on statutes and codes, not
right.
on
They don't,
common law.
and those are all patented, and they're really not even ours to use, right?
Well, what I'm finding is it's important to do your studies, your private studies, and recognize what does it mean to be a U.S. citizen, because we're not U.S. citizens if we weren't born on a military base or a post office or Washington, D.C. I was looking at your property. You're actually located on original land patent property.
Yes. That's probably why they want my house so bad.
Yeah. Oh, that was one thing that Max Steele had mentioned. He said, because there was a couple who were on, and they were from Florida. And they said they're getting up and they're moving. They're leaving Florida. And Max said, oh, okay. It's kind of like there's going to be a false flag set up there in Florida.
Oh my goodness.
So just to be aware of that, okay, not to let it ruin your life or control your
Yeah.
life. It's
Yeah.
be indoors, and you'll be safe indoors in your home.
Now, do you know if it's North Florida, South Florida, anything like that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I would imagine it's somewhere that's a high population.
Okay. So that's more of the south, that'd be more down to the southern area. I'm in the north, west tip, almost in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
call it LA, Lower Alabama.
Nice, LA.
And I was actually born in Arcadia, Los Angeles. So when people say, where are you from? LA, Lower Alabama.
Lower Alabama.
Yeah. But so Max he's the one that talked about the false flag event.
He mentioned it so briefly because he was
Okay.
addressing this couple that were in Florida, and then I
Okay.
realized, oh, wait a minute, Diana's there in Florida. I should
Yeah.
mention it to you.
There's a lot of, there's a lot of currency holders in Florida. It was wild, girl. Now I don't know if it's true or not, but I was told there's more currency holders in Texas and Florida than any other state in the United States.
Wow.
And isn't that wild? And then California also is very high. And think about all the storms that hit Florida, Texas, and now the fires in California.
Yep. There is a coincidence with it, or more than a coincidence. It's all intentional.
Wild. Yes.
Wow.
So, I mean, do you think that, like, right now my case is closed? They haven't reopened it to try to sell it, or they hadn't as of when I looked at it the other day. I think it was on Friday is the last day I looked at it.
Okay.
And so I have to look at it every week, because they don't notice me stuff. They're so crooked,
Yep.
They don't notice me of anything. And let me tell you, girl, the judges are in on it. The appellant court's in on it. They're all in on it. I mean, I have the proof. They're all in on it. They're so blatant about it. Well, only for people with eyes to see.
Right.
I pick up things that most people they won't even see,
Okay.
And I see it as, oh my gosh, look what they're doing here. Like, they titled, I'm not married. When I appealed my case on the appellant level, they titled the case Deutsche Bank versus the unknown spouse of Diana Bigler.
Okay. Were you married when you'd gotten the property?
No, I was not.
Okay. So this is like, it doesn't even apply to you.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yes.
Well, in your case, I could see it would be necessary to get your paperwork together. Do you have the documents there?
Which ones?
So let me see. Let's see what I got here.
I got a lot of documents. That's what's so confusing about this. Is for years I've collected, so much stuff that you don't even know it's kind of like you're going crazy because you don't even know what to do any longer.
Right. I could see.
I wish I was like you. You look like your life is just so clean. Like,
clean.
Your bookshelf stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to, lighten my load like that because I've acquired so much stuff that's probably just junk, especially pertaining to this. I mean, I'm talking about for this court case going on and all this stuff that's happened. I have like boxes full of, my case alone takes up like 5 of those gigantic, the biggest binders you can get from Office Depot,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What is it? 2 days ago, I went through my pile of papers, and that's when I realized I don't need this stuff.
That's what I do. I want to clean it up because it is dragging me down,
Exactly. There's a lot of emotion to it, and once you can let it go, it's like, you're just so light as a feather.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Just to move on past this heaviness because I've had it for too long,
Yeah. I put a link in the chat. And
okay.
That is, let's see, it's a 6-page document. that comes off of that one video, I'm going to say with about foreclosure eviction prevention.
Yes.
And
So you think all this is still good and relevant?
I do.
Okay.
And it's mostly because once you put it on the public record, the judge cannot refute it. It's like you served all the interested parties, and they're going to have to look at it and say, oh, wait a minute, you had this certified as well.
Okay.
It's been recorded for the public record, and then it was ordered certified copy, and then you serve it to the people the banker, I want to say the attorney for the bank.
Okay, now this has got a UCC attached with it.
It does. Now, the thing with this, there was something very interesting. Okay, let me first look at this document. This is the Notice of Revocation of and Collapse of the Deed of Trust. So, are you still paying mortgage payments on this?
No, I haven't paid mortgage payments in over 8 years.
Is there an existing mortgage agreement between you and the bank? Or
they've got file down at the courthouse, but it's not. But the people that are trying to collect, it's not the same people.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I kept telling them. That's what I kept telling the judge, and the judge would say, "Well, I'm sure they'll give you credit if you're paying the wrong people."
I don't think so. Yeah, it's best to. Well, what you could do is still, even though it's not to the birth certificate attached to your birth, right? Because we're looking at all cap names, right?
Yes, and I've got my authenticated birth certificate.
Okay.
But just to let you know, my birth certificate has my name. I was born in California. My birth certificate has my name in upper and lower.
Okay. But it's Californian.
Yes.
Okay. It's still west of the Mississippi is all lawlessness. So it'll still be treated as a slave name.
Okay.
So look at the document that they've got on you, or I want to say on the who's supposed to be paying the mortgage to.
Yeah.
And fill in this document. This is the Notice of Revocation of and Collapse of that Deed of Trust.
Okay. Okay.
And so essentially, are you able to open it and see it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. So let's see. This is a mortgage that's for the state of Florida?
Yes, it is. It was signed in the state of Florida. The original people that are on it were Centex, which became Nation Star, and now Nation Star has changed their name to Mr. Cooper. But Centex was who, and they're not even lenders. Well, first of all, we know banks can't lend money.
Yep.
I mean, you know what I mean? I know all this. Do you know what I mean? But
right.
Here's the deal. They weren't even a bank to begin with. So.
Okay. Well, it's good you've got all these names. Put all the names on there.
Okay.
So it'll apply to each one, and they can't switch out of it.
Okay.
Now
we'll tell you this. Is it Shayna? Do you pronounce your name Shayna?
I do, yes.
Shayna. Okay. Now that was not the first. Should I go all the way back to when I originally bought my house? This was a refinance.
Yeah, I would say so. To the one that you had signed originally, and do it also for the refinance, because that's a new instrument as well.
Okay, so do one for every one of them.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it is really to collapse the original mortgage, which has then fallen back onto the refinance, and however many times you have refinanced, do it on each one. Because each time you refinance, that's a new instrument for the bank to play with.
Yes, yes. And what I've been told from a lady, now I will tell you about this real quick, because I don't want this to affect, because you would be a part of this too. So she was kind of a friend, she, are you familiar with Living Lies website? Living Lies. Anyway, he's a attorney that, and I have no respect for attorneys, but I have been looking at his website for years, and there was a lady that used to type in on there. She still does every now and then, and she was a notary that was a title. She had her own title company, but they stole her stamp and started using it to stamp documents, and she actually testified against LPS, Lender Processing Services, for stealing her stamp and using it. But what she told me is she ended up in probate herself. But she told me that I could not do this without an attorney, and I kept telling her blah, blah, blah about attorneys. But she ended up getting, she gets dividends as being a United States, part of the United States. She's a preferred stockholder. She said we all are. If we're a property owner, if we've paid taxes, and there was one more thing. It was a 3-pronged thing, taxpayer. Anyway, so she gets dividends now.
After she won a case then, or
was
it an
probate and did something? Well, because she said they're taking 10 times whatever that note or whatever the value of the house is.
Yep,
then
that's
they
right.
it and they use the credit. So they've been using and making money off from our name with all this credit they've got. Well, somehow she went in and got all the taxes on that, got that all settled up. And she exchanged, and I don't know what she exchanged, may have been her birth certificate, but something she exchanged for preferred stock, and now she gets dividends. Her and her husband get like quarterly dividends as stockholders.
Okay. You're not able to get back in touch with her, or
she won't talk to me because she said life has been threatened.
Yeah, I can imagine. She's in and she's safe. And she doesn't want to lose it.
She said she's private, though. She said, I will tell you this, I am private. And, she said, all I can tell you is get an attorney that's familiar with wills, or trusts, estates, and real estate. Okay. Because evidently, they've made this, she would say it's things like they didn't disclose everything to us. I'd have to write, I'll have to get some of her things that she said together, and I'll send them to you, the things that she said. But basically, they've been, it's identity theft.
It is.
And she said, that's how you get into probate court, is by bringing these, again, by making these claims. She'd always tell me to state my claim. State your claim.
Yeah. That's true. So it's like, well, if you've got this house, then why are you bringing this paperwork forward? What is your claim?
Right. What are you claiming? And she said, if you claim fraud, then it'll knock you out of getting your, you don't want it to be fraud. You just want to take out, there's a trust out there, or some kind of trust that they're managing, like we've abandoned it. And we need to go in and make our claim on that. And that's what she did. But she didn't do it. She did it through her family attorney, is what she said. Okay. And she told me that, she said, I will tell you this. She asked me how old I was. And at the time, I think I was like 49. And she said, well, you're very close. She said they were told to not help anybody under 50. Oh. Because anybody under 50 or around that age would have time to recover, but anybody over 50, for them stealing their house, they'd never recover from it, because the house was like our largest investment.
Okay, yeah, I'm 46, so it's well, how long ago was that?
That was about 3 years ago, about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, 2.5 years ago, so 2015. I think this was the year that August 2015 was when Obama had the, or was it 2014? He wore that tan suit. Do you remember that? Yeah, it kind of made news because he wore this tan suit as opposed to a black or navy blue suit.
Wow.
But things were supposed to have changed during that time.
Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Is Obama, what is, now, I never figured them out. Or what is their role in all this?
Well, let's see, I want to say the banking cartel created an Obama that he's just like a magic man. He's so well respected here in Switzerland.
Is he really?
He is. Because that's what the media can do. They can create this facade of
Yes.
something else, right?
Yes.
And
Well, over here, it's crazy. I mean, they say that Michelle's a man and all kinds of stuff.
well, it could be. We have transgender going on, or transgenetics. Actually, it's happening through the food. So tell
Oh,
your son to avoid soy products. Any
okay.
products?
We do. We do.
Okay.
We soy. Yeah.
And he should have more olive oil, and you should stop with the olive oil.
Really?
Because it's the high testosterone in the olive
Okay.
oil.
Okay. What about coconut oil? Is it okay?
Coconut oil's good. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
That's most
actually a good for the skin. Yeah, I would say it's good. I mean, I find that when I do have
vegetarian. Are you vegetarian?
I you could say I don't actively eat meat.
Me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I mean, I don't know. Y'all might have better. I heard the lady say over there that your food is good, right?
Oh, it is. It's really good. I mean, there isn't any problems here. So there's actually this contract between Switzerland and Argentina. And Argentina is like where the Nazis went off to for South America.
Right.
So there's this contract, and they cannot use antibiotics on the meats that are being brought over here.
You know what's wild, girl, is somebody was just posting one of the Facebook things I'm in about chemtrails.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that no chemtrails ever get sprayed over Argentina. That would make perfect sense.
Yeah, I could see that. We do have chemtrails here. But most of the elite, they're not out walking on the streets or walking around.
Right. Now, what was Max's? Did he talk about, like, is there a planet coming?
You mean like Nibiru?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He didn't talk about that. It was more to give us new. It was for these upgrades. You said it exactly right. What Max Steele is doing for his webinars, they're upgrades. So
Right.
they're new set DNA codes.
Yes.
He does a healing for any injuries.
Oh,
And
sweet.
it's about then being opening your heart to the information. And then this is how you activate. I activate. It's like so simple, But he does go through each individual, each man and woman in the webinar. So we went through 39, and I was on there for a long time. And then when I realized when Little Pony leaves, that's like the end of the webinar. And when it's just Captain Max Steele on there, he's just sort of giving people the bonus of, hey, ask me any questions you want. So that's where I ended up staying on.
So everybody was named on the webinar then?
Yeah. Oh, there was a guy on there. Oh, I forgot his name. Brian Collins. And he had, the Hollow Earth's copper band with quartz crystal.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And I could not help but sort of question. It was like a portal that he had. You know how Zora's able to get in touch with all the people who have these copper bands? Well, this guy being in there seemed to be like it was a mirror or a portal that could allow whoever's on the other side of that crystal accessing it to look into the chat without being detected. And I had made a mention of it to privately to Max, and he later brought it up, just sort of asking this one guy with the band, hey, where'd you get your band from? Yeah, but what it was is I realized when I was in there, I felt like I was being looked at, not by just the people in the webinar, but something was catching my eye, that something through this guy's crystal was looking at me. But it's like, really, there's this veil. You can't really break through it because it's a quartz crystal. It's hard to explain, but I just felt like I was not being tapped, but being observed.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, was this guy just another participant like you?
Yeah, he was.
Ah,
But he
okay.
had, this technology from Hollow Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be curious to know if he goes into all of them, go to all of Max's webinars.
Yes, yes, yes. Like making a list or letting them see everybody in there.
Right. Who's there, and find out what you can, or just see what you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so if
And
you happen to go on Saturday, be aware of, the copper band with the quartz crystal
okay.
guy, or anybody with that kind of hollow earth technology.
And then I'll let you know too if he was there.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to know.
Now, had you? I don't know if I asked you this before or not, but had you ever done another one with Max before that?
No, that was the first
Okay.
and only. Yeah. Well, actually, when I initially got in touch with him,
Uh-huh.
it was on Skype, and then he sent me a message. He says, "How do you know me?" And I said, "Oh, I listen to your videos, your interviews on the Studio 9 Jam." He said, "Oh, do you have time to?" Once he found out I was from Switzerland, no, actually, because my Skype setting says I think it's like the Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. I said, "Are you in Africa?" "No, I'm actually in Switzerland. We're in the same time zone." And it keeps people away from me. So,
Yeah, I hear you. Now,
so
can I friend you on Skype?
you can, but Skype is Microsoft. Microsoft is Bill
Oh,
Gates, and so
okay.
I'm actually trying to get off of that thing.
I gotcha. I
Yeah,
hear. I wish there was another platform everybody could hang out like that.
I know. It's like all the let me see. Zoom is a good one. However, my partner was saying Zoom collects all the data that's on the hard disk.
Dang.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, it's safe outside. There is encryption. However, there isn't this, I want to say here in Switzerland, there is this extra access of looking on people's computer, which the Swiss are very protective of.
Wow. So everybody goes through that, huh? Over there.
Yeah, I'm going to say the CIA, probably the Federal Intelligence Service,
Mm-hmm.
NASA. Yeah, it's, we got the banking cartel here.
So you think I know I keep on changing the subject, but we got so many interesting things to talk about. But, so you think that, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that collapse of deed.
Okay, yes, let's
And
go.
I don't have to get those, authenticated, or I do?
Okay, let's see. You order certified copies of your deeds. You're going to order two certified copies of each deed on the property.
Okay.
And it's not just for when you've owned it. It's like, when was the house built?
1882.
Holy smoke. So you got to go back to 1882 and get all the deeds on that.
Okay.
Okay, and you're going to get two copies. One is going to be for the recording, and then the other is going to be for your copies.
Okay.
Your copies you can authenticate by
Okay.
the Secretary of State
Okay.
for Florida.
But don't worry about doing it with Rex Tillerson, right?
No, because it's just between you, the private woman, and the state of Florida.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to attach that to each one of these revocation forms.
Actually, just do the one page, notice of revocation and collapse of deed of trust.
Uh-huh.
And then just list it. So you're going to
Okay.
make affiant is the grantor on deed whatever number,
Uh-huh.
and whatever number for the second one. You know how you've got the ones that are refinanced?
Yeah.
Let's see. Actually, the part about the getting the certified copies goes on the second one. Oh no, actually the third one, the affidavit of ownership. So let's go back to the first one.
Okay.
So with this notice of revocation of and collapse of deed of trust.
Okay, I've got to go back to it. Okay, I'm there. On the first page, the notice of revocation.
Right, on the first page there.
Okay. So
You're
I'm gonna do one of these for the first time I did my house plus the refinances.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
because isn't a deed of trust that's been refinanced just like another deed of trust?
Yeah. In Florida, since I'm a non-judicial state, they actually call them mortgages, but they're the same thing as a deed of trust.
Okay, yes. And you don't have to do a separate sheet for each mortgage.
Okay.
Just use the same sheet and list it. Point number 2, and then you'll put your mortgage number for that, and
Okay.
whether it's a refinance. Let's see.
So I'm gonna have a lot more than 1 through 4. I might have 1 through 12, right?
Exactly. So
okay.
You know how you got basically number 1, affiant is the grantor on deed number, or I want to say the mortgage. You're going to put number 2, or you can actually do a comma. Affiant is grantor on the following deeds.
Okay.
And just list them. Then point 2, affiant hereby revokes this, I want to say mortgage or the refinance. Okay, and then affiant hereby releases all parties to deed, and you're going to list those refinance mortgages without consideration.
Can I ask you, like, in your opinion, exactly? Because I'm just asking opinion. Or you know, what do you think that exactly means? Affiant hereby releases all parties. Does that mean does that mean I never have a claim against them for anything?
What it means is you're the, I want to say, you, the woman, basically have this, you have granted this agreement with the bank or the banking cartel, and you are hereby releasing all parties involved with this mortgage, the refinancing. You're releasing the banking cartel from this obligation. And without consideration basically means you, the woman, are going to not hold the banking cartel responsible for any more services. It's like, thank you, banking cartel, I don't need any more of that. And the 4th point, you, the woman, are going to waive all fees and costs associated with this deed, this mortgage, because we're in a debt currency, right? When you
backed by gold, we can't pay our debts because we don't have anything but notes.
Exactly. So it's when we think about fees and costs, oh, that's going to cost me some fees and costs, you, the private woman, it's like, I'm going to release the banking cartel of all these fees and costs, because they switch it around where they make the woman, you, the woman,
pay everything.
Yeah,
like,
but it's It's actually supposed to be the banking cartel
Yeah.
pays the woman.
Yeah, exactly. Because
So-
they're using our signature.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's basically how I translate it. And when we look at a debt currency, this is kind of the thinking that we need to do a 180-degree turn when we look at a paper like this or the wording on this.
Okay.
Okay. So, further saith not.
So I'll
Yeah.
so I'll have that one thing. I'll get certified. I'll send it to, and I'll have it all. You still there?
I'm here. Yes.
Someone called and I just clicked my thing to make them go away.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It worked this time. Last time it didn't work. I had to wait. But
okay.
then I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it authenticated, and then I'm gonna get it recorded in Tallahassee, which is the capital.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. So this is actually this is just the first page, right?
Okay.
You do this first page, this notice of revocation of and collapse of the mortgage. Let's see. Yeah, this is a paper you just have notarized, but you got to instruct the notary public to do it correctly.
Okay.
Right, because they'll write in black ink and they'll put black boxes around to make it so it doesn't mean anything, right, when they use the four-corner rule.
You mean their stamp, if their stamp has a box?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's okay. It's okay. Just tell them they got to sign in blue and they have to turn it on the back side of the paper.
And
because the front side is the public, and when you turn it over to the back side is the private side.
Okay.
Okay. So it's okay if they've got this black box around it, but make them sign the back side of the document in blue ink.
With their stamp and everything would go on the back side then?
It would, yeah.
Okay.
You have to tell them.
Video,
Okay, yeah. That's how it's done in Switzerland. That's all I know. Well, I've learned.
Yeah.
So it's just that document notarized correctly that you would be able to collapse this deed of trust. And this gets recorded in the county where the property is located, but first recorded at the, let's see. Yeah, I think you would have to have a UCC with it.
You would.
Oh, no, wait, I got it. Okay. Record this at the county where the property is located.
Okay.
Order a certified copy of that document.
Okay.
Okay. Now, that certified copy becomes a certificate, and that needs to be authenticated by the Secretary of State.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if they won't record it at my county, can I go to the next county, or would I be better off to go to the capital?
Have you been doing paperwork before that they won't record the?
Yeah, I mean, they actually were giving me a hard time about recording something I had in my court case. I said it's right there in my court case, and now you don't want to record it in the certified records? And they go, well, why do we need to record in the certified records if it's already in your court case? I said, because I'm paying for it and I want it done. Oh. And they actually had to take it back to another room. I could see that lady getting on the telephone calling. Yeah, I guess because I'm problems up there because I've been fighting for my house for so long.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see. So I would say, yeah, have this, if you can't do it at the county recorder's office, don't bother. We just get this all together, recorded at the state capitol.
I'll make a trip up to the state capitol.
Yeah, and this will be a separate one. I mean, I would say this would be a separate one, but in your case, just put it all together and consolidate.
Here's the deal. Once they record it at that county up there, they can't, and I have it authenticated at the state level.
Mm-hmm.
do that all in one day.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to refuse it at the county level.
Right. Well, let's see. That's the curious thing is about states that are east of the Mississippi River. They should be carrying out, they have a fiduciary duty to do what they're supposed to do. Oh,
Yeah.
it may help. It may help to do this. Let's see, what is this here?
Now I'll share this with you. There's a company now that helps people sue because of them not doing their fiduciary duty. And it's not that they end up doing their fiduciary duty, but it costs them like a couple of $1,000s for not doing it. But they still get away with not doing it a lot of times. Can you believe that?
That's incredible.
Yeah, so they just pay a fine, you know, and so there's actually a law firm in Florida that started targeting, helping people with that, you know. But what it does is it just makes them more money. They're just continuing the fraud, you know.
Not make them more money. It's to get them into more debt.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Get them into more debt. Yep.
Are you familiar with this? That's actually not it. Deed of secondary conveyance of incorporeal hereditaments.
No, I never heard that.
That's one I want to get from my partner. It's basically to say you're not bankrupt.
Okay.
And that it's necessary to have, having one of this with your passport application would be a good thing to have to say you're not bankrupt.
Okay. Well, we got that, and we got that authenticated birth certificate says we got the full faith and credit.
Yeah. You hold on to that authenticated birth certificate because that's your copy. Your private copy.
California is not giving out authentications anymore, so it's going to be the only one I get.
Oh, when did they stop?
They stopped in like January, I think like the 17th or something of this year.
Okay,
They'll only do apostilles now.
Right. That's what the State Department was offering me to have on my, on my passport application.
Yeah, my friend just went down to, made a trip from Orange County to, you know, wherever you go get that done, and they would not do it for her. They said that all they were offering was one stamp now, and it's an apostille.
Oh.
And she asked me, "Is Taiwan not a non-Hague country anymore?" I said, "Not that I know of." And she goes, "Well, they're sticking a apostille on it."
No, they shouldn't. Well, that's where because they're not doing that service. That's why it makes me further believe that there is no U.S. corporation anymore. They can't do that because it's no longer a foreign entity. It is now, with the dissolution of the U.S. the U.S. corporation has been dissolved. It's no longer a foreign entity. It's been restored. Let's see, but they haven't been doing it since January.
Yeah, well, that's what the website says. When you go, because I said, "No way, that's not right. They can't do that." And I went on their website and I read about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I think it said January something. I'm almost positive it said.
Okay, but before the inauguration of Trump. Yeah, that's why I would actually the same week, probably the same week she tried to do that authentication from Sacramento. I had sent my request to get a certified authenticated copy of my passport application. And so it's taken like 10 months to get to this point. It's positive. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Good. Now on your application for your, did you leave off your social security number?
That's a good question. I have to, okay. Actually, I got the document right here. Hold on one moment and I'll go and get it.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like I did. I just put zeros in. I filled it in exactly the way Copper Moonshine Stills did it.
Yeah, I've been on his website. You know, you are lucky because they've been rejecting a lot of people doing that.
Oh, I know. I did this back in May. I did this in May. And yeah, it's incredible. I had this done in May, and
that's awesome, girl.
you can put the social security number in. It's okay. It's not for you, but just put a black box around it, because anything inside the black box makes it non-legally visible. It's not applicable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
But what if people that are telling people to put borders around their document? Does that mean that nothing on that page is applicable?
Applicable, right. Why would you do that? I've seen a lot of Winston examples with that on. Yeah.
And I've been always confused about that too.
Well, let's see. It could be, depending on what's in the box, like I'm a US citizen, but I'm not. So you put that a box around it.
Yeah.
That's what the four-corner rule is. It's to remove anything that can be held in a court of law. That's just removed. It's gone.
You know how some people put boxes around their court cases?
But they still go to court?
Borders around their court cases.
Okay. It's a complete box?
Yeah, like borders the whole page, and then if it goes to the second page, they leave the bottom of it open.
Oh.
And then if it goes to, and then if it's a third page, then on the second page they just have two sides going down the border, you know.
Okay.
And then say it was 3 pages, the last page would have a border at the bottom also, but not at the top.
Wow, I've never heard of that. Well, I would say if you don't recognize it, or what's the value behind it, or can't find an explanation behind it, just leave it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we are under a different, we're operating at this point forward, not under the U.S. Corporation. So all that legal activity, that illegal activity that's happening in Florida, they're part of the banking cartel.
Okay.
Have you heard of the W-9 form?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, you get their EIN. I've actually got the court's EIN. They didn't want to give it to me, but they asked me, why do you need it? I said, because I called Washington and they told me this is what I need to come in here and ask you for it. And they said, what for? I said, so I can fill out some tax papers. And I actually appointed the clerk of the court. I gave her a form 56 and appointed because the judge would never put his name. They just put some scribble marks without his name on the documents, you know. Because I was going to appoint him a fiduciary and tell him to take care of the taxes on everything. And they would never tell me his name, or he would never write it on a document. So I appointed the clerk of the court with a form 56, my fiduciary. I told her for 2 weeks, I took the form down to the IRS and had it stamped and put it into my case, and then served the clerk with one. And the girl opened it up at her office and said, she doesn't have to accept this. And I said, you know what? I said, as you can see, I've already dropped it off at the IRS and they've accepted it. I said, so I don't care what she does with it.
She's responsible for it now. That's brilliant. Wow.
But you know, they still tried to sell my house, but now everything is really quieted down since July.
Yeah, like late July?
Yeah, late July. Well, I'll tell you what happened, girl. I was actually, in order to save my house, I've actually filed bankruptcy 3 times, but never went through with it. Canceled the bankruptcy before I ever had a meeting with the trustee, you know. Okay. I would just file, and then like 4 weeks later, I would just, you know, before I ever put any paperwork in, I would just do a motion to dismiss the case.
Wow.
Okay, so the bank got mad at me and started sending all these documents to the court, to the judge. You know, like I didn't even read them all. They were like just scare the heck out of me. You know, an inch thick, saying how I was using the federal court to keep them from selling my house and all. And I had a hearing coming up. And the judge, before the hearing, issued an order saying they could evict me from my house. The sheriff could evict me. They could sell my house, blah, blah, blah. I put in, and I would have to, everything is in JPEG, but if you want to see what I put in, but I put in this thing about FARA and some things about judges, and I put in my common law copyright, my authenticated birth certificate. I've got this thing from the United States saying I'm a private citizen. I can send you all that if you want to see it. But I put all that into my case, and the judge came back a month later, Shana, and issued a new order like she'd never issued the other one, and all the order said was that I could not file bankruptcy again for 180 days. That's it.
Oh, effective.
Yeah, quite effective, right?
Yeah.
And I've never heard anything from either one of them since, and that was late July.
Okay, July, August, September, October. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, we're no longer even in the U.S. incorporated anymore.
Right. And that's basically what the documents were saying. It was all quote unquote, the federal, just the facts, what the facts are,
Right.
They're foreign agents, that they're not registered, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, I think it really shook them. I mean, for her to sit on that for a month and issue another order, I think she thought about it and decided to issue a new order, don't you?
It would appear so.
Because and another thing was, I said, they never even had a claim to begin with, because I've got another entity. I've got Wells Fargo, girl, that sends me a bill every month for $200 and something thousand, and they were trying to tell the judge that they had a judgment against me for $700 and something thousand, and this all started on a $280,000 loan.
So it's interest then.
I mean, no, I think it wasn't just interest. They've added all kinds of crazy fees to it, but they don't want to explain anything,
Right. Wells Fargo does that.
Hey, the judgment to begin with was only for $370, but yet they're telling that federal judge that my judgment was now, let's see, right, almost $700,000.
Do you still have that document? You could do like an acceptance for value on that.
Yeah, which one? The judgment?
Yeah, it would be the judgment with
I've got the judgment.
And it says like over 700,000.
Oh no, that's what they put into the federal courthouse.
Okay.
That was in their pleadings to the judge, to tell the judge, because they were telling the judge to lift the order to let them sell my house. And at first she did. And then she came back and said, nope, all it was, and I didn't even address the fact that, they were saying that I was just using bankruptcy as a way to delay. And that's what the judge said, something about, because plaintiff is using bankruptcy for delay of, process or what, I don't know. I'd have to find it and read it to you or send it to you. But basically like, well, that's my business if that's what I want to do. But according to the federal law, then you can't file bankruptcy for 180 days.
Yeah, we're in a different stage now. Now that the federal, I want to say not the federal, U.S.
I mean, I actually could have come back. And argued that with her, couldn't I?
You could if you got time. But I think anything with
waited too many days now, but I thought about it at the time. I could have argued that with her. What right did she even have to tell me if I,
Right. That's true. I mean, for me privately, I wouldn't bother with it unless it had money or currency attached to it. Then you can do an A for V, and then in 90 days that becomes a securities. Then you bring it to your CPA. That becomes a credit on your account.
All right, let me ask you this now. The judgment, here's the craziest part. This is so deep, girl. All right, so I had a trial. They wanted me to use an attorney. I told them, no, I'm not using the attorney, because I realized, I went through 3 of them. They were all scamming me,
Yep.
So the judge said, well, I'm not going to delay this case any longer. We're going to go to trial, and you're not going to have an attorney today. And I said, okay, that's fine. Even though I was not prepared. The trial lasted like 2.5 hours. All I did was tell him, I never had a contract with these people. Even if I did, whoever I had a contract with, they broke the contract first. So the contract, there is no contract. And, so he was just going back and forth off the record. I want you to do a modification, blah, blah, all these different things, Well, about a month and a half after my trial, that judge that still had another 1.5 years on his contract, he resigned. My court reporter called me and told me, guess what? Judge Parnham is resigning at the end of the month. So 4.5 months later, okay, then they sent me that was in August of 2014.
Okay.
In January of 2015, they sent me a notice of a case management hearing. So I showed up for the case management hearing, and the judge was asking the clerk next to him, where's her file? And he said, get her file. I was the first person that morning. It was standing room only. The courtroom was packed. And the girl says, I already asked them for the file. And he said, well, where is it? And she said, they've lost it. They can't find it. So he, in that courtroom with the court, I have a court reporter, certified court reporter, records. He says, well, Miss Bigler, apparently we don't even know what's going on with your case today because we can't even find your file. And so then I talked to another attorney, and they said, oh, go down to the courthouse and tell them, this was about 2 weeks later, they said, tell them you want a certified copy of your entire case. Well, I went in there, and they said, well, you're going to have to come back next week because your file is checked out. I said, no, wherever my file is checked out, I said, I need y'all to go get it because I need a certified copy today. And they were like, just, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, apparently y'all lost it. And they said, oh, we did not. And I said, well, I have a certified court record I said that where the judge had the clerk call, and that's what y'all told the clerk, that y'all couldn't find it. Y'all lost it. And this was like the manager of the department. And she was saying, oh, we would never say that. And I said, well, I'm here to stay today until I get that certified copy. So I went and sat on the bench, like by the office,
Mm-hmm.
sat there. So they finally came out there to me and they said, we've located your file. It's a judge has it checked out, which I already had seen this man peeking around the corner looking at me. I didn't know at that time till later that was the head judge.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yeah, girl, yeah. So I saw this man peeking around the corner at me, I was like, oh my God. But it didn't dawn on me, what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I didn't know at the time he was the head judge. So I said, well, then you just tell that judge I'll come up to his office to review my file, and then I'll get a certified copy of it. And they said, no, and I said, well, I'm here to stay until I get my copy. They said, well, it's going to cost a lot of money. So I brought $100 bills, and I just fanned them all out in front of him. I said, I brought my money, And so finally they went and got the case. And you know what they'd done, girl? They photoshopped that judge's name on that judgment that wasn't even a judge any longer.
Oh.
So I'm going to be certifying a judgment for a judge can I still do that? So the judgment came out in 2015. Can I still do what you're talking about?
That certified copy you'd gotten from that document that they finally gave to you? I'd say get that authenticated.
Okay.
By the Secretary of State for State of Florida.
Okay. Should I get any other documents from the case certified? Authenticated?
That one is important because it was certified by this fraudulent court.
Yeah, they certified it. I've got the receipt where I paid right under $900 that day for all those court documents.
My gosh. Yeah, I would get that authenticated, and then that could be used in a court of law.
So would you get that authenticated by the state and the Rex Tillerson, or just the state?
In cases of fraud, it would that brings it, and this is about your property.
Yes. Yeah, the judgment is for a judgment for foreclosure.
Okay. When I get it for this, because fraud is involved, it seems extra, but because there's evidence of this fraud, to have it authenticated, what I'm thinking is the Secretary of State might not have it authenticated, but to have that piece of a document, and it's a judgment.
It's a judgment.
It's a judgment. What would you use that for? Well, that would be for your records in terms of you have a document that's fraudulent, that was created by the state of Florida, and it's been further authenticated by Rex Tillerson.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how you would cover the bases in terms of it went to the highest level of authentication. And,
okay. Now, what would I still be able to do what you're talking about though? Would turn it into a security? Is it too late for that?
No, it's never too late. It's
Okay.
never too late. Let's see. You just need to bring it into a CPA, and I don't have knowledge of what a CPA can do to make that judgment a securities.
I wish I knew too. We've been trying to find one, you know, that would do this would do the 1099s and stuff.
There isn't someone who would do this?
Well, I mean, I've got one more person I was going to check with, but a lot of them just look at you like, no, you know?
Okay.
Um,
Is there maybe a business that you have a good relationship, and then to ask if you could speak to their CPA?
you mean like for a company?
Yeah, like a hardware store.
Because you think that they sometimes do these 1099s on a regular basis?
No, but just that a CPA would have this knowledge, and
Okay.
that you know, it's like if you don't have someone in your contact list of your circle of friends or colleagues, then you doing business regularly with maybe the hardware shop, or what else would be another one? Maybe a restaurant. You know, you have these different options that you come there regularly as a customer, and as a customer, you're just asking, hey, do you have a CPA? Could you recommend a CPA? When you have this connection, this private connection with an individual that is working on that other side, who may have access to a qualified CPA, then you'd be able to have the documents worked on.
Okay.
Yeah, just as an option.
Because really all these loans and stuff or these, you know, alleged loans, they should have gotten like 1099A or possibly a 1099 miscellaneous on them, right?
Oh, gosh, you know, I'm not familiar with it to say.
Well, that's what my friend from California is doing on hers, and she's been doing them electronically.
Oh.
She's been for everything, for her utility bills, everything over the last couple of weeks. I'll keep you posted on that, but so far the IRS has only rejected one of them.
Oh, you know, when you pay through the IRS, I realized that the IRS only accepts a bill of exchange.
I mean, like she's doing these 1099s online, and then they submit them to the IRS.
Okay.
And for her utilities, for everything, like she's telling her utility companies, this is the same one that was using her trust account, and they reversed everything. So what she started doing, she started 1099 and all these, you know, the power company, the cable company, her servicing company on her house, everything. She just started 1099 them, and you know, and then when they started calling her, like freaking out, you know, and she's like, I don't have anything, you know, she said, I don't have anything to say to them. They can take it up with the IRS. but her power is still on, and her cables.
Well, she may have found the way to make it work.
So maybe it's working now. It's only been like a couple weeks now. But, like she was saying Monday, we were laughing about it yesterday, saying, well, they're still on. I'm like, praise the Lord, they're still on. Because she's willing to risk it. I have a son. I have a 19-year-old son. I wouldn't want to put him through that,
No, I mean,
already cut off and,
yeah, that's true. When you've got he's not even done growing. You don't want to be at risk. I mean, that's where, thank you for being responsible.
Yeah, I wouldn't, so I'm not willing to take the same kind of risk that she is. He's already upset enough going through this foreclosure for all these years, but now he knows, at least he knows what's going on. And he's like, he understands that our signature is the one that creates, what makes the world go around. Without us, they don't have anything.
Exactly. That's true. That is. I'm just seeing the time here.
Oh yeah, no, I take a lot of your time, girl, and I'll be glad to send you a donation too.
You don't have to send me a donation, but if I could call on you sometime for a favor later.
Anytime.
Okay.
Anything to do for you here. Honestly.
Thank
I
you.
love having a network. Now I got a network, and I got you in Switzerland. I think it's just so cool because that's where my dad always said, we're Swiss. You're Swiss.
You got to look into that. Well, I will see what I can find about Bigler here in Switzerland.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let me see. This in terms of, now that I realize more about your situation.
Yeah, I hate boring people with all those details, but I went ahead and told you some of them. It just seems so, like you can't make this stuff up kind of stuff, but it's all true,
Exactly. This is really how it works. Or sadly, this is how it works, and it's part of private education. You wouldn't learn this anywhere else.
Oh, no, you'd have to live this to know it.
Yeah. Well, that's your journey.
Or somebody that has, right?
Yeah. Let me see. So with this 6-page document, here, 6-page document on the notice of revocation of and collapse of deed or the mortgage.
Yes.
So I think you've got that covered. You don't have to do it over at the county recorder's office.
Okay.
Save that document because you're going to record it with your affidavit of lawful possession. Typically, like if my neighbor didn't have a black mark on her name, I would say go ahead and record that first document, the notice of revocation, at the county recorder's office where the property is located. But instead, for your case, you just take that document and include it with the rest of the document here.
Okay. So now, you just mentioned of lawful, did you say ownership?
It's a affidavit of lawful possession and
possession.
Notice to parties. Yes, that's the second page. I think of that. Let's see, where is it here? The first document that I sent you. It's going to be on that one, second page.
Okay.
So possession is 9/10 of the law. You already have possession. So you're going to create the document that creates the title, which is the remaining 1/10. From what I realize, it's the Rothschilds that owns all the title companies.
Oh, Lord, that would make total sense.
Yeah, then that's where the separation comes, that you can't really have
There?
ownership. I'm here. Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Shana?
I'm here.
Hello?
Hello?
You still there?
I am. Oh, let's see.
Can you hear me? I can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah, you went away for a minute.
Oh, okay. Oh,
you there?
I'm here, yes.
Okay.
So I'm in Switzerland, and fiber optics were installed about 1979. So very similar to what Simon Park's experiences.
Yeah, I was about to say, right when you started talking about that, it went out.
Yes. Confirmation. Okay.
Totally, girl.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Um,
I'm gonna record now. You were saying the possession's 9/10 of the law, and we know who owns the title companies,
yes.
and
So we're going to create with this document. It recreates the title.
okay,
Okay.
sweet. Now, and that's already included with it.
It will be it. Yeah. When you order, let's see. So this is where you order 2 copies of the. Let's see. Okay, hold on one moment.
I wonder if you could do a video on this.
We're doing it now, okay?
Okay.
So,
Okay. Sorry.
I think I'm recording. Okay. So this is affidavit of lawful possession and notice to parties. And you fill in all the information. What is necessary here
Okay.
is for you to invest in a land surveyor, a licensed land surveyor.
Okay. Okay. To get the meets and bounds.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then now there's page 3, affidavit of ownership. This is where you're going to, with that first document to, let's see, what's it called? It's called Notice of Revocation and Collapse of the Mortgages.
Yes.
You're going to get only the ones that are related to, let's see, did you do that? What I'm realizing is the public record shows all the mortgages that were taken out on the property.
Yes.
So, and this house goes back to 1882.
Yes.
So you'd have to get certified copies of each mortgage on that property.
Okay.
Okay. Now for this page 3, affidavit of ownership. You would also get certified copies for every deed that goes back to 1882.
Okay. So every mortgage and every deed.
Yeah, and order 2 copies
Okay.
of each.
Okay.
Okay, and let's see. Right, so here on that page 3, affidavit of ownership, you're just going to create a list. So it's going to have more than just the one.
Okay.
And I realize this has a black box around it. It doesn't need that.
All right.
And I'd say this subscribe and sworn.
Oh yeah, the SS, take it off.
Yeah, you can leave it off because that's really only for people who are going to lie.
Okay. All right. Oh wow.
Let's see. They say that, that's the SS is only for documents that are going into court, but you need to make sure that the notary does the correct instructor on how to correctly do the notary on the back in blue ink.
Yes. In blue ink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know when you sign that, let's see.
Yeah.
When you, I don't want to say sign, when you autograph that,
Okay.
blue is for commercial, purple ink is for supreme or sovereign.
All right.
And you're going to get a red thumbprint ink.
Okay.
Put your thumbprint onto both the autograph and make sure it goes through the date as well.
The thumbprint goes to the date as well?
Yeah, or do your autograph, thumbprint it, and then do the date on there to make sure it goes through the thumbprint as well.
Okay. Now, what was I going to? Oh, on the name. So would we sign our name in purple?
Yeah, you can. You can. It's just to show that you're not a slave, right?
Okay. So that's a good idea then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It shows up as like if you got a dark purple would be best. Some people say, oh, we use black ink because you can't see when you use blue ink. That's where you make sure you got a good pen. Purple ink means
So she'll be signing in blue, but I'll be signing in purple.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. And then I have the UCC now here. How do you feel about all the hyphen and the colon in the name?
I've used it.
You have? I mean, how do you use it as a private woman?
Well, those documents I put at the federal courthouse, I did Diana-Ruth Bigler.
Okay, I've seen that. That's kind of what I have here.
Mm-hmm.
But because we don't have, so the Dutch, right? This idea comes from the Dutch.
Okay.
Basically, the Dutch have, they have at least two first names. So it could be like Anne May, let's see, William Paul. But it's not like Paul is the middle name. It's actually William Paul. Call me Shana Misako, right? Misako is not my last name. So before slave days, it was the first name was however many names there are. The Dutch monarchy, they actually have like one of the monarchs has one of the princes has like 5 names.
Right.
And then the family name is actually the middle name because there is no surname as a surety. But what I'm realizing is that was applicable when the US corporation was up and running. But it's no longer up and running. It collapsed back on September 30th.
Okay.
So I feel like it's okay to use first, middle, last.
Like the way I said to do it, like the way I did it?
You can do it like that if you'd like, but it's not necessary because basically the birth certificate is going to be your new sovereignty pass.
Okay.
Yeah. You can, just for consistency purposes, write how you have it with your document that you created and had recorded.
You mean the way it was originally done?
On the birth certificate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
upper, lower.
Upper, lower, yeah.
Huh? And the all caps is supposed to be the surety, right?
It's when you fill in the last name that becomes the surety name.
Okay.
So if you don't have anything for a last name, then they've got nothing on the surety.
Well, remember when I put documents in with just my first name, they had a fit. They said,
right. Yeah, I can imagine.
they said, is that your name? I said, yeah, that's my name. That's your full name. I said, I can sign these any way I choose. It's my name.
Mm-hmm. Well, to the best of my knowledge, that's how I do it. I don't know.
Right.
It's so much better to be stupid rather than to, because they're like, okay, well, let's see what we can do with this, you know.
Right.
And I used to think that using the Bourne Hospital was applicable. Now, if you have I found that my hospital that I was born at, it's on original land patent property.
Okay.
So if you can identify the hospital you were born at.
I was born in California at the Methodist Hospital.
Okay.
In Arcadia, across from the racetrack.
Okay. So take a look at that map again. Did I send you a link?
Spanish, isn't that all Spanish?
Yeah, it is. It is. It belongs to Mexico.
Yeah. So what is that? Is that it's a Spanish land grant.
Yeah, Hidalgo, Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty.
Uh-huh.
So that's, let me put this in the chat here. Oops. Here we go. So do a search to find where your hospital is and find the document, or there's going to be a geographic name in place of the city.
Okay.
Okay.
A geographic name in place of the city. Mm-hmm.
And there won't be a zip code.
Okay.
Let's see. You can actually put the debtor. I've heard that you can do your name as, or I should say the birth certificate name as the first debtor. No, you're actually doing the, this is for the house. So, yeah, it would be the birth certificate name for the first debtor. And for the second debtor, you can put your son in there.
Okay.
Yeah, because the secured party is where you would use the, I want to say the original land patent location. So you'll find, you need to look into where is the original land patent and how is it described. Did I send you an email with that?
Say it again.
Did I send you a link on vid.me with, let's see, it goes back to this Bureau of Land Management.
You put one in the Zoom window just then.
Right. And I was looking at your address on VidMe, and I had also identified that where your property is also on original land patent property.
I almost sent off for a certified copy of it, but I never have.
Oh, it'd be a good idea to do that.
Okay.
And you could also have that, I believe, it's authenticated by by Rex Tillerson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But first you do it through the state, right?
No, it actually, there are offices in Florida, just like there are regional offices throughout the country. But because of what you're going through, I suggest going through Washington, D.C.
To get the patent.
To order a certified copy of it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I could do that, so that's a great idea.
Yeah. Then you have not only the geographic name description of it, you can show them, I've got this document here and I have ownership on it. So actually this whole 160 acres, however big, some are a fair size, maybe 120 acres.
Yeah, it's 160. I looked it up.
Okay, it's 160. Okay. Then it's a fair size. You could basically have everybody paying rent to you.
All the downtown.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in a very good location.
It's all the downtown is in the, yep, that first patent.
Wow.
You know, and the first governor of Florida, he actually had his livestock on this property. This is where he kept horses and his cows and all that.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm thinking that, you know, it's just got a lot of historic value to somebody.
Yes. Have you ever done a land search on your name?
No.
Take a look, because I think you can also do by names, not just location, or you can narrow it down to see if Florida state, let me do a quick one here, Florida. And let's see. Search. Okay, no, none that I'm finding, but it may be that maybe it's not Florida. Let's just do any state. Bigler.
Oh, you mean at the BLM?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I've got 2 land patents in Colorado.
Oh, nice. That's a good area.
I bought the land directly from the BLM like 25 years ago.
Oh,
and came with a land patent.
that's nice.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like they put my name onto the patent.
They did it for you.
I guess if I remember right, it came like that, you know?
Wow. I'm actually seeing 7 pages here. Let me take this search here and put it in the chat here. Oops. There we go. Okay.
So how could that benefit me though, huh?
How can it benefit you?
The having the one in Colorado.
You don't have to pay property tax if you have an original land patent on it.
Well, you know what though? They've still been making me pay taxes all this time, girl.
Then they owe you some money.
Really?
Yeah. They need to give you, I would say you'd put an accounting together for them, show them that you've got this land patent. Oh, that reminds me, this would be helpful for the land patent. This is how to, did I get it in? Yeah, I think that's in there. This is the final solution to property tax by Joe Stevens.
Okay.
And with allodial title via land patent means you don't have to pay property taxes, with the exception you need to correct the political status.
It said someone called again. It messed it up. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
And you said what now?
So when you have allodial title through a land patent, it's necessary to correct the political status, because
Okay.
a U.S. citizen cannot have original land patent property. They're the ones who have to pay taxes. I believe when I canceled all my contracts with the dark forces, it happened when I closed my bank account in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. That was actually, I want to say about 10 days ago.
What exactly happened now?
So when you have a bank account, they use this autograph, this signature, just in a little box, and you don't know what you're signing. It's a digital signature.
Okay.
So they apply that signature to everything. And a lot of people don't realize that that signature card waives all rights to a fair trial. So if you're in trial, you need to close your bank accounts.
For any, whether the trial has to do with your bank or not, huh?
Because they're all connected. The courts are connected to the banks.
I got you. Like my mom, because she's so old, she's 94, she has me on her account.
As a beneficiary? Or I'm sorry, could you repeat that again?
As a signer.
Okay. Let's see, how can you do that? It's just until you're out of court, and you'd be able to see progress in court if you close the bank account.
Okay. Well, right now,
or the other thing you could do is to create like an, let's see, a foreign trust.
yeah, I got a 98 EIN.
So use that to open a bank account with an, is it an 8-BEN? BEN 8?
8 BEN,
Yeah. And then that makes it for a foreign trust that is not going to be, the IRS can't get into it.
Okay.
And so that's where you could use that name or that trust, the foreign trust, for your mom. And that way you can take your name off of it.
Okay.
then you should see progress with your court cases.
Because they won't have any. Because they won't have any way to act. I ain't any right into it, huh?
Right, right. It's to look at all the documents you've ever had to sign or apply for,
Okay.
and it would be to close and collapse those applications or accounts, like the bank account.
Okay. And the only way to do that is really by closing the accounts.
Yeah.
Okay.
An option that you could do is to do a prepaid credit card. So you pay
Yes.
as you go.
Yes. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if I have a credit card? Is that the same thing?
That is because that goes through a bank.
Yep. So that's.
So it's
Lord.
yeah, that's really where they were pushing these credit cards to keep people in the system. I actually only wanted to close my credit card account, but this credit union ended up closing not only the credit card, it was a secured credit card, but they also closed my bank account. It's like, we don't want to have anything to do with you. So they got rid of me.
One of my friends just had everything closed on them.
It was closed on them, or they closed it?
No, it was closed on them. Because they started writing things like something deposit for lawful money or all different things on their stuff. Yeah, they end up closing their everything.
Wow. Okay. No, it's yeah. Then it just becomes a matter of finding another way to deal with. Yeah, it'll be a little tricky for me when I go back to the States next week. But that's where things. I have to get them together for the currency redemption.
So you think it's going to happen soon?
I do, actually. It's kind of amazing that I'm here in Switzerland. My resident card,
Uh-huh.
resident permit to be here,
Uh-huh.
it expires before I come back to Switzerland. And so I had to reapply for it. And
Right.
it's what allows me to be here legally.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is I might be the only like married to a Swiss who doesn't want to become a Swiss citizen. So
Yeah. Right.
it's like, what do you mean you don't want to become a Swiss citizen?
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like really good timing. Let's see.
So is Max part of the currency redemption?
He is, yeah. He mentioned it too.
Okay.
He mentioned it. So it's a really good webinar to attend.
Okay.
Yeah, I just sort of have your list of questions to ask.
Okay. I gotcha. Well, maybe we can talk again soon.
That would be great. Yes, I realize there's a lot of paperwork here to go through already.
I really appreciate you helping, and like I said, anything, if I can make a donation, if not, if you want, anytime you need anything done over here, I'll be more than happy to do it for you.
Oh, thank you so much, Diana. That's, I mean, money's worth nothing, that's why, but if you got a contact who happens to be in the States.
Right? Yeah, that's awesome. And I think it's neat having a contact in Switzerland. So
yeah, it's quite a coming full circle for you too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good thing.
Well, I'm gonna really dig into this stuff and see. I know I'm gonna be down at that courthouse to get all that stuff together.
Right.
So I'll attach it all together. I'll need to. In order to have it authenticated, I would have to buy them all together, right? For it to be one document that's authenticated. Is that right?
I believe what the state secretary does is usually authenticate each document.
Okay.
Ask them if they can authenticate all the ones that are qualified to be authenticated.
Well, here's the deal. If I do a notarized statement and I attach all those documents to it, that makes it one document, right?
It does. What the Secretary of State does when they are authenticating a document, it is to authenticate each notary signature.
Oh, okay.
Or
Okay.
however, like any officer that happens to be on the document,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
like probably the, oh gosh, on a mortgage, it would be to see, is this notary public, were they qualified? Are they in the public record at that time? Yes, okay, then that can be authenticated. Next, then they're just looking at this one tiny bit, which is usually the notary. Or that's how it is in California. You'll have to let me know how it is in Florida.
Okay, so I basically would need to get them all separately done. You think?
It California would make us do it that way.
Okay. I gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to look through this and figure it out then.
Yeah. And if notary, Winston Trout had said a higher service to notarizing is to do the notary yourself. If you can't find a private, I don't know if you could find a private, well, a notary public is a consular agent that's neutral between the private and the public. But it depends on how they're notarizing, right? If they're only doing black ink on the front of the document, that's not a real notary service. So you may as well do your own signature, do a clean thumbprint on the signature, and do your date as well.
And 3 witnesses, right?
Yeah, you could actually, in place of doing the notary, get 3 unrelated, blood-related individuals. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. There was something else. Yeah, I think that would be a good way to go.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shayna.
Oh, you're welcome, Diana. Of course, of course. It was good talking to you and hearing your story.
Good talking to you too, girl. And I'll just keep in touch, and I'll send you anything I think you might be interested in.
Okay, that'd be great. Next week, Tuesday, I'm going to be leaving. So I'm going to have very limited internet access.
Just anything that if you need anything, just let me know.
Okay, thank you so much.
And we'll talk to you later.
Okay, you have a great day.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.